Does the level of distress that you feel depend on the level of tragedy that you're facing? Well, I saw a tortoise get run over today and it made me really think. Welcome aboard. Just had this rather bizarre scenario that I was walking along the road near to my house and this tortoise was on the pavement. One of those things you don't expect every day. So I knocked on the door of the nearest house to ask them whether they knew where the tortoise lived. He pointed out it was somewhere around the corner, and then suddenly I heard this loud crunching sound, and that feeling of horror hit me. I came out the gate and I saw that somebody had parked but had gone onto the road, onto the pavement considerably, gone straight over the tortoise, and the shell was cracked and the poor thing was bleeding. And I just thought, what the hell do I do now? How do I put this thing out of its misery? Do I call the vet? Do I try and find out where the owners are? And it was one of those things, I was gripped by uncertainty at the time, and it made me think, actually it doesn't matter to what the level of the uncertainty or fear or doubt is, it's still the same feeling. There's the levels of cortisol and adrenaline and norepinephrine that are running around the body in response to our fight and fly. We've got to do something, make a decision, and it can make us feel paralyzed sometimes. The final events of that poor tortoise's life were, well, he didn't last. We had to take him to the vet and make that decision, or get the owners to make the decision. But I think the conclusion really is that when we recognize what actually is going on in our system, in our mind, in our body, put some language to the emotion, then we can do something doors have gone on banged. We can do something to move us along that to the next level of reflecting effectively. And I still feel very upset about it, and it wasn't a family member or a complete tragedy involving a human, but it still affects me in the same way. So I think we have to remember that there is no shame or embarrassment in feeling upset, even at the slightest thing that unsettles us. But once we learn to put language behind it, in other words, develop our emotional wisdom and our emotional intelligence, it's so much easier in the longer term to deal with it, to process it and turn it into a learning opportunity. Difference between thinking in a creative way and thinking in a emotionally hijacked victim mentality. Let me know what you think in that box below. When do you feel uncertain, full of doubt? And hopefully you'll tell me that you don't feel shameful about it, but maybe you do. Let me know in that box below. In the meantime, as always, please keep it in the greens.